Welcome students, chapter number 5 of Vistas, Should Wizard Hit Mommy? A very rare title because it has a question mark at the end. That's why the chapter has been left open-ended. Open-ended for we to decide whether it should be the wizard who should hit the mommy or it should be vice versa that the mommy hits the wizard. Now, who is this wizard? Who is this mommy? For that, I'll let you know the summary of the whole chapter. The chapter is about a father, Jack, and his 4-year daughter, Jo. Now, Jack used to tell his daughter a story every Saturday, and every time he wanted the daughter to sleep. And every time from the past 2 years, astonishingly, he was telling the same story to Jo. Now, that is astonishing because children get bored very easily every time they want a new story. But Jack was such a good storyteller that from the past 2 years, he had been telling the same story to Jo, and that story was a slight variation of a basic story. That basic story I'll let you know first, and then you'll understand the chapter. In that basic story, what happened? There was a creature, and every time the name of the creature used to be Roger. But the creature used to change. Sometimes Roger Squirrel, sometimes Roger Chipmunk, something like that. Every time the creature changed, and every time this creature had a problem. Now, with this problem, he visited the owl. Now, owl is said to be wise. So, he visited the owl, and the owl suggested him to go to the wizard. Now, why this thing? Because it's an addition. The owl is merely an addition. The owl suggested him to go to the wizard. The wizard used to cast a magic spell, and then the problem of the creature used to solve. The creature used to come back home, play with his friends, then go back to his home. That time when he heard that the train was coming, because from that train his daddy used to come home. So when he heard the whistle of the train, he used to go home, and then Jack used to describe their supper, and the story used to end. Now that day also the same thing happened. Jack started the story. Now that day he asked Jo, the story is about whom? Jo has started to go to nursery school. So she said, today the story should be about skunk. Now she did not know that skunks have such a big problem that problem will make the other children not play with the skunk. Skunks have a very bad body smell. Okay, Jack started the story that day. There was a creature, Roger, and Roger skunk. He had a problem that his body used to smell very bad, and the other creatures did not play with the skunk. Then the same story happened. He asked him to go to the he went to the owl. Owl asked him to go to the wizard. The wizard cast a magic spell, and the smell of the bad smell of the skunk was exchanged with the rosy smell of roses. Beautiful smell of roses. Now Jo was very happy. Now that day what happened was Jo thought that the story was over as Jack was coming to this part. She started to play with her hands and all, and Jack got irritated. Till I did not tell her that the story is over, how come she has understood that this has happened? His ego was hurt somewhere. And he did what? He suddenly and abruptly changed the end of the story. According to that, what happened? Every day the creature used to go home and the mother used to be happy. That day when he reached home, the skunk's mother said, "What is this smell?" She said, "This is not your original smell." She took an umbrella, went to the wizard, hit the wizard, and got that old smell back. Now Jo was not ready to accept this end because she knew one thing, that the other creature would play with the skunk because of one reason, and that reason was that he has a very good smell. Now she said, "No, this cannot happen." And she said, "Daddy, no, the story is not like that. The story is that the wizard hit the mommy back and did not change the smell." Now here this chapter ends. You would think, ma'am, what was the end? The end is left, there is no end to this particular story. It's left open-ended. The reason, you have to decide whether wizard should hit mommy. If you say wizard should hit mommy, you are going with Joe's end to the story. And if you say that the mommy should hit the wizard, you are going with Jack's end to the story. But before you judge this story beforehand, let us first of all complete the story. Let us first of all understand why Jax did this and what was the reason behind doing this, and then give the final answer whether wizard should hit mommy. So let's begin this particular paragraph first. In the evenings and for Saturday naps, the short sleep during the day, like today's, Jack told his daughter Jo a story out of his head. This custom began when she was 2, was itself now nearly 2 years old. This shows that he started telling this story when Joe was 2 years old, and now Joe has turned 4. That means from the past 2 years he had been telling the same story to Joe. Then, each new story was a slight variation of a basic tale. A small creature, usually named Roger, Roger Fish, Roger Squirrel, Roger Chipmunk, had some problem and went with it to the wise old owl. The owl told him to go to the wizard, and the wizard performed a magic spell that solved the problem, demanding in payment a number of pennies greater than the number that Roger creature had. This is only an addition. The creature was always asked by the wizard that give me 5 pennies, and every time the creature would be having less pennies, so used to tell him the method also get some extra pennies. So this is an addition in the story, because children like magic, they like some additions, how to get money and all that. So this was merely an addition. Then, but in the same breath, directing the animal to a place where the extra pennies could be found. Then Roger was so happy, he played many games with other creatures and went home to his mommy just in time to hear the train whistle that brought his daddy home from Boston. Jack described their supper and the story was over. Now, if you are asked the question, what was the basic tale, what was the basic story? This is the basic story. So, first question is done. Then, working his way through this scheme was specially tiring on Saturday, because Joe never fell asleep in naps anymore. Children, when grow up, it's very easy to make a small child sleep. But as children grow up, they don't want to sleep on Saturday because they know next day is Sunday. So, this became very tiring for Jack, and every time this task was given to Jack. Then, and knowing this made the rite seem futile. Rite is the system, the ritual that was there. And futile is useless. He knew Joe would not sleep, but still this custom had to be done. He had to tell the story to Joe, and it seemed to be useless. He knew Joe would not sleep, but still he told the story. See, there is one more reason. Parents tell stories to children because they want them to give a moral lesson also at the same time. They want them to become creative. They want them to think. So this is also one of the reasons. Then, the little girl, not so little anymore, the bumps her feet made under the covers were halfway down the bed. That means she had grown up, and she had grown up more than half of the bed. Then, their big double bed that they let her be in for naps and when she was sick had at last arranged herself. He arranged the daughter, like he arranged the covers, everything. He closed the curtains, like as though it was night time. Then, and at last arranged herself, and from the way her fat face deep in the pillow shone in the sunlight sifting to the drawn shades, it did not seem fantastic that some magic would occur and she would take her nap like an infant of 2. Her brother Bobby was 2 and already asleep with his bottle. Jack asked, "Who shall the story be about today?" He asked Joe, "Okay, what story do you want to listen?" "Roger." Joe squeezed her eyes shut. She knew the first part of the answer. The name of the creature has to be Roger. But the second part, she was pretending that she was thinking. She had already thought in her mind that today I'll tell my father to tell the story about skunk. Now see the beauty of this particular line. Roger, Joe squeezed her eyes shut and smiled, to be thinking that she was thinking. She had already thought in her mind. She closed her eyes and pretended as though I am thinking. Then her eyes opened. Her mother's blue. Jack's wife also had blue eyes, and Joe also had blue eyes. "Skunk," she said firmly. "A new animal. They must talk about skunks at nursery school." Having a fresh hero momentarily stirred Jack to creative enthusiasm. You will be asked one question, and that is, how do you know Jack was a very good storyteller? Here is one reason. He got a new animal, a new hero, and he got creatively enthusiastic. This shows his enthusiasm. He did not get bored even though he was telling the same story from the past 2 years. This shows he was a very good storyteller. Then, having a fresh hero momentarily stirred Jack to creative enthusiasm. "All right," he said. "Once upon a time, in the deep dark woods, there was a tiny little creature by the name of Roger Skunk, and he smelled very bad." Yes. Now, Joe was giving the answer because she wanted to tell the father that I am listening. Then, he smiled. He smelled so bad that none of the other little woodland creatures would play with him. Joe looked at him solemnly. Now suddenly she got shocked. She did not know this. She only knew there is an animal skunk. But she did not know that that animal smelled so bad that the other little animals did not play with the skunk. This, students, you have to understand a child's psychology. A child never likes that the other children don't play with him or her. They always want that the other children should play. Like it has happened when children play and one day they say, "Aaj isko nahi khilayenge." The other one feels so bad, he'll go home running and inform the parents, they are not letting me play. Now, none of the child wants that he should be excluded from the play. And here, Joe now understood this was a big problem and she got very angry from inside. Then, Joe looked at him solemnly. She hadn't foreseen this. Whenever he would go out to play, Jack continued with zest. Jack did not understand that Joe is becoming serious. He continued his story. Then, zest is enthusiasm. With zest, remembering certain humiliations of his own childhood. This shows that he was personalizing the story also. Then, all of the other little animals would cry, "Uh-oh, here comes Roger Skunky Skunk," and they would run away, and Roger Skunk would stand there all alone, and two little round tears would fall down from his eyes. The corners of Joe's mouth drooped down, and her lower lip bent forward as he traced with the forefinger along the side of her nose the course of one of Roger Skunk's tears. Now, you must know, Jack was such a good storyteller. He made with his little finger that tears that came down from here and then went here and all. So Joe also made that crying face. So this was just to draw Joe's attention to the story. So this also shows he was a very good storyteller. Then, won't you see the owl? She asked in a high and faintly roughened voice, because now she wanted that this smell should quickly be changed. She said, "Won't you see the owl?" Sitting on the bed beside her, Jack felt the covers tug as her legs switched tensely. He was pleased with this moment. When Joe suddenly said this, no, Jack became happy. Okay, she's considering this to be real. Let this be. So he became very happy. Then he was telling her something true, something she must know, and had no wish to hurry on. But downstairs a chair scraped, and he realized he must get down to help Claire paint the living room woodwork. Students, it was that they were expecting their third child, and Claire was 6 months pregnant, and she required Jack's help. So Jack was given the task: you tell the story to Joe, make her sleep, come down and help me. Now he did not want to hurry, but because that chair scraped, he wanted to hurry up. So now what happened? Well, he walked along very sadly and came to a very big tree, and the tip top of the tree was an enormous wise old owl. Good. "Mr. Owl," Roger Skunk said, "all the other little animals run away from me because I smell so bad." "So you do?" the owl said. "Very, very bad." "What can I do?" Roger Skunk said, and he cried very hard. The wizard," Joe shouted. Because this is the best part of the story. Wizard, magic. The wizard, Joe shouted and sat right up. She was sleeping, she suddenly got up. And a little golden book spilled from the bed because the book was kept on the bed only. Then, "Now Joe, Daddy is telling the story. Do you want to tell Daddy the story?" "No, you tell the story to me." "Then lie down and be sleepy." Her head relapsed onto the pillow. Relapsed onto the pillow, and she said, "Out of your head. I want a story out of your head." Then, well, the owl thought and thought. At last he said, "Why don't you go to see the wizard?" "Daddy, what? Are magic spells real?" "No, this was not an edition earlier. Now this edition came and she said, "Are magic spells real?" This was a new phase. Just this last month, a reality phase. Joe had started to ask questions. She has grown up. Then, when he told her spiders eat bugs, she turned to her mother and asked, "Do they really?" And when Claire told her God was in the sky and all around them, sorry, she turned to her father and insisted, with a sly yet eager smile, "Is he really?" Children are said to be very sly, very cunning. If somebody says this happens, they'll confirm from the other one, "Does this happen?" Now when Jack said spiders eat bugs, she confirmed this from the mother. When the mother said that God is everywhere, she confirmed this from the father. Children are very cunning in this case. So now she was asking the father. "They are real in stories," Jack answered curtly. He became rude. The reason? He did not want this. He wanted that it should be completed fast. Then she had made him miss a beat in the narrative. The owl said, "Go through the dark woods, under the apple tree, into the swamp, over the creek." "What's a creek?" "A little river." "Over the creek, and there'll be the wizard's house." And that the way Roger Skunk went, and pretty soon he came to a little white house, and he rapped on the door. Jack rapped on the windowsill. It's like this windowsill was there and he did this, so that the sound came out, and Joe got thrilled. So he was adding background voice. This is a third point to prove that Jack was a very good storyteller. He was including background voice. Then Jack rapped on the windowsill, and under the covers, Joe's tall figure clenched in an infantile thrill. She suddenly became happy because now is coming the favorite part. And then a tiny little old man came out, and the long white beard and a pointed blue hat, and he said, "Hey, what's this? What you want?" Now, this is just because Jack wanted to include that wizards part, and wizards are old. See the way he's taking the voice out, watch this, watch the one, like that way. Then, "You smell awful." The wizard's voice was one of Jack's own favorite effects. He did it by scrunching up his face. Wizards don't, they get so old they don't have teeth. So he scrunched up his face from here, and then he behaved as though he had got no teeth, and this is how he spoke. And somehow winning through his eyes, smiling, okay? Winning through his eyes, which felt for the interval Ryumi. He felt being an old man suited him. "I know it," Roger Skunk said, "and all the other little animals run away from me." The enormous wise owl said, "You could help me." "Eh, well, maybe. Come on in. Don't get too close." Now inside Joe, there were all these magic things all jumbled together in a big dusty heap because the wizard did not have any cleaning lady. Why? Why? Because he was a wizard and a very old man. Students, you'll think this is merely addition. Okay, then, will he die? No, wizards don't die. Well, he rummaged around, just searching. He rummaged around and he found an old magic stick called a magic wand and asked Roger Skunk what he wanted to smell like. Roger thought and said roses. "Yes, good," Joe said smugly. She was satisfied. Okay, this is good. Then Jack fixed her with a trance-like gaze and chanted in the wizard's elderly, irritable voice, "Abracadabra, hocus poo, Roger Skunk, how do you do? Roses, boses, pull and here. Roger Skunk, you never fear. Bingo." And what happened was that bad smell was changed with the smell of roses. And here is where I am ending the first session. The next session, we'll see what happens when the remaining story is completed and this creature goes back to the mommy and what is the expression of the mommy. But here, the half part of the story where the magic spell happened and Roger Skunk's bad smell was exchanged with the smell of roses. Thank you.